Max was an avid gamer, always yearning for an adventure beyond the screen. One day, he received a mysterious notification that read, "Enter the game. Play for real." Without hesitation, Max clicked, and the room around him vanished in a flash of light. He blinked and found himself standing in a vast, colorful landscape that felt too real to be a game. His heart raced as he realized he was actually inside the game. "Welcome to Level 1, a voice echoed around him. "Your journey begins now." Max looked down to find his familiar controller replaced by a glowing sword in his hand. Excitement flooded through him as he prepared to dive into the adventure. The path in front of him was lined with towering mountains and lush forests. As he took his first step, he marveled at the beauty of the virtual world. Birds chirped in the distance, and the wind carried a sweet fragrance of blooming flowers. "This is incredible," Max whispered to himself, feeling like a tourist in a magical realm. His gaming instincts kicked in as he spotted a group of enemies approaching. They were monstrous creatures with glowing eyes and sharp claws, but Max was undeterred. He swung his sword with precision, dispatching the enemies like a seasoned warrior. "I've trained for this my whole life," Max thought, adrenaline surging through him. After the battle, he ventured deeper into the game world, encountering breathtaking sights. There were crystal-clear lakes, towering waterfalls, and vibrant meadows teeming with life. Every step felt like a new discovery, and Max was in awe of the game's design. He climbed steep cliffs, explored ancient ruins, and solved puzzles to unlock new areas. Along the way, he met other players who had also been transported into the game. They shared stories, laughed, and teamed up to tackle the game's toughest challenges. Max found himself not only a gamer but also a leader, guiding others through the treacherous paths. There were moments of intense combat, where Max fought off hordes of enemies. There were moments of tranquility, where he simply sat by a river, enjoying the serene beauty. Max knew he was living the dream of every gamer, but the stakes were higher than ever. He could feel the physical exhaustion after each battle, the thrill of victory more tangible than before. The game wasn't just a game anymore, it was a test of endurance, skill, and courage. At times, he felt like giving up, especially when the challenges seemed insurmountable. But every time he faltered, he reminded himself of his passion for gaming. "I can do this," Max said aloud, determination igniting a fire within him. His motivation grew with every level he conquered, each victory fueling the next. As he advanced through the game, the environments became even more stunning. He traveled through deserts with golden dunes stretching to the horizon. He crossed vast oceans on a majestic ship, with dolphins leaping beside him. Every moment felt like a dream vacation, a tourist's paradise filled with excitement and wonder. The game world had cities filled with vibrant marketplaces and towering castles. Max explored them all, buying items, upgrading his gear, and immersing himself in the experience. His favorite moment was when he flew on the back of a dragon, soaring over snowy mountains. The wind in his hair and the vast expanse of the world below made him feel invincible. Despite the beauty, there was always a looming sense of danger. The final boss awaited him, and Max knew the ultimate test was coming. His journey had been filled with ups and downs, but he was ready to face whatever came next. The closer he got to the final level, the tougher the enemies became. But Max never backed down, pushing forward with courage and persistence. He had trained for this moment his whole life, and he wasn't about to give up now. His gaming skills were sharp, his instincts honed, and his heart determined. The boss battle was an epic showdown, with explosions of light and sound all around. Max dodged attacks, countered with his own, and fought with every ounce of strength he had. The battle raged on for what felt like hours, but Max remained focused. Sweat dripped down his face as he delivered the final blow to the boss. With a thunderous crash, the enemy fell, and the screen flashed, "Victory." Max stood there, panting, unable to believe he had done it. The world around him began to shift again, and the familiar light engulfed him. He blinked and suddenly, he was back in his room, the game controller in his hands. It felt surreal, as if he had just returned from an incredible journey. Max smiled, knowing that the adventure had changed him forever. His skills as a gamer had been tested, and he had emerged victorious. But more than that, he had discovered new strengths within himself. The experience had been real, the friendships, the battles, the beauty. Max looked at the screen, which now displayed a message. New Game Plus unlocked. He chuckled, realizing that the adventure was far from over. There were more challenges to face, more worlds to explore, and Max was ready for it all. "I'll be back," he said to the screen, a grin spreading across his face. The game had awakened something inside him, a thirst for more adventure. His life as a gamer had just begun, and the possibilities were endless. Max stood up, stretching, and glanced out the window at the real world. He knew that, just like in the game, challenges in life were meant to be faced head-on. Every moment, whether in the game or real life, was an opportunity to grow. Max walked out of his room, feeling a sense of accomplishment. His journey through the game had taught him valuable lessons about perseverance and courage. It wasn't just about winning, it was about enjoying every moment along the way. The world outside was just as beautiful as the one in the game, and Max intended to explore it. As he stepped outside, the sun bathed him in its warm glow, and he smiled. Life, much like a game, was full of adventure, and Max was ready for it. He decided to travel, to see the world with his own eyes, just like in the game. There were mountains to climb, oceans to cross, and cities to explore. Max's gamer spirit had transformed into a thirst for real-world experiences. He booked a trip to a faraway country, eager to be a tourist in a new land. The excitement of discovery, the thrill of the unknown, it was all waiting for him. As the plane took off, Max looked out the window and smiled, knowing his adventure had just begun. The game had been a catalyst, but now it was time for the real adventure. Max knew that the world was a vast, beautiful place, full of challenges and wonders. With every new place he visited, he would remember the lessons from the game. To face challenges head-on, to appreciate every moment, and to keep pushing forward. Whether in the virtual world or the real one, Max was always ready to play. And with that, his journey as both a gamer and a traveler continued. There was so much more to see, to experience, and to conquer. Max knew that the adventure would never truly end. As long as he had the spirit of a gamer, life would always be full of excitement. The final message from the game echoed in his mind. New Game Plus unlocked. Max grinned, knowing that every day was a new game, a new level, a new challenge. With a heart full of motivation, he embraced the unknown, ready for whatever came next. "Let's go," he whispered, as the plane soared higher into the clouds. Max's journey was far from over, and he knew that the best was yet to come. With a heart full of courage and an adventurous spirit, Max faced the future head-on. Whether in a game or in life, the adventure would always continue. And as long as Max had the will to keep playing, he would always find victory. The game, the world, and his journey, they were all one, and Max was ready for it all.